Hey guys, it's Wedge here, and today I'm going to bring you another review of a headset that I have recently acquired. I really wanted to give this some thorough testing before I did a review, just because this is a brand that is kind of synonymous with gaming headsets. They've been around for quite some time. They've been the mainstream headset, arguably, for most streamers and a lot of tournaments. You've seen them, I'm sure, before. They are no less the Astro A40 TRs. And Astro's been around for a while. Like I said, I believe they introduced the headset back in like 2010, the very first Astro headset. So these are the TRs. These are the most recent iteration of the Astro headset to date. They did just release a pair that's like it's like a black or navy blue and red colorway, and those I think are the X edition or whatever, Astro X. But these essentially are the same exact headset. These are just the Xbox One and PC version. Now, one thing that's different on this particular headset versus the previous generation of Astro headsets is that the Astro headsets are geared toward a specific console. So in other words, the white pair will work with the Xbox One as well as the PC, whereas the black and blue pair will work for the PS4 and the PC as well. And the reason that there's a differential there has to do with the MixAmp Pro, which we'll get to in a minute. So whenever we look at the actual headset, I'm going to unplug the cord for a minute. The actual headset, of course, is all white, as I kind of showed before. It does have the red accents on the ear cups as well as on the top where it says Astro. Got it upside down, but you can kind of tell Astro. There you go. So the ear cups do come off in typical Astro fashion. So you can actually move the mic. If you don't want it on the left-hand side, you can move it to the right-hand side or vice versa. These are called an open back headset, and the reason why is because, as you can see right there, that goes straight through to the speaker. This will actually bleed out a little bit of audio if you leave this off, and even if you put it on, you can still kind of hear it. So these are technically open back. Are they as open back as like a Sennheiser Game 1 or something like that? No, they're not that open, but they are open. So you can kind of hear yourself whenever you're talking, so that way you don't get too loud or anything like that. They do make a remedy for this if you need noise canceling headphones, and that is the TR Mod Kit. And it basically just has a gasket that goes around this little gap that keeps the earmuff closed. And then they also have a leatherette around the actual ear cup, whereas these are more of a velour, super soft, super squishy. That is how you would make this a basically noise canceling headset. Speaking of the earphones, the reason that you can change those is because they detach with magnets, which is probably one of the coolest things about this headset. I had the Generation 2, and the material wasn't quite as soft as these, and you couldn't change them out. So if you like leatherette versus a velour, you can change them out for that. If you need the noise canceling, you can change it out for that as well. While we're talking about the ear cups, let's go ahead and take that off. The actual speaker is actually covered up by cushion as well. So if your ears do happen to touch, it's not going to hit the speaker grill. It is real soft, same material as the actual earmuff itself, and it is pretty plush, so it does have some cushion to it. So, anyway, they are plastic, but they do have a lot of metal construction. So all the joints, like right here on the pivots, are all metal, as well as the actual arm bracket here that has your adjustment sliders. It is metal as well. Now, the microphone is a boom mic, of course. It does flex. It will kind of go wherever you want it to go. It stays in position pretty well. The quality is pretty good. I know a lot of people will talk a lot of junk about this headset's mic. It's not that bad, guys. I've heard a lot worse. It's not the best, but it is really good. And it will do for what you're wanting to do it, use it for. A lot of people have streamed with this headset. I'm sure you've seen it on Twitch, you've seen it on Mixer, you've seen it on YouTube, Facebook Gaming, whatever. So obviously the microphone does well if you're in a pinch and you need to use it to stream. It's not going to replace your Yeti microphone. It's not going to replace, a dedicated stream mic or whatever, but it will get you by in a pinch. Again, the mod kit comes with an additional mic that does allow you the noise canceling feature on the microphone itself. And I also forgot the headband itself can be taken out and replaced with the mod kit as well. I do not have the mod kit right now. I may get it in the near future, which then I will do a video with it on, and I will show you what it looks like and kind of do a review of the mod kit itself. But as of right now, these are working just fine for me. So These are really comfortable. The ear cushions just really sit well on my head. They're not too, it's not too far away from my head. I feel like, it looks good whenever I wear it on. It feels good. It's pretty light. It feels pretty hefty in hand, but once you actually put it on your head, the weight distribution is pretty good to where I could wear these for several hours straight and have no problems. Again, the microphone, it does not have a flip to cancel, which kind of stinks, or flip to mute. So, it goes 360 degrees. So it's not like the A50s where you can flip it up, mute, flip it down. There's actually a mute function on the actual inline controller. Now, one thing that I don't care for, and this is something that I don't care for on any of Astro's headsets, is that this headphone port, while I do applaud them for having a removable cable, it is a proprietary cable. So you can see that this is longer than, let me show you the other end so that way you can kind of see. This side is a standard, this side is the Astro. So there's an extra pole in there. And a pole is basically those little black lines that go across. That's essentially a pole. So there's an extra pole in there, and that makes connection with the actual headset. So this side has to go into the headset. It will not work if you plug the other side in. You'll get static, it won't come through the sound and all that. So that kind of stinks because you have to use the proprietary cable that Astro provides. But the cable is high quality. As long as you take care of it, I don't think it's going to be a problem, but the cable is relatively expensive. You can find off-brands for around $15, but the actual Astro cable itself, I believe, is around $30 or $35. So it is kind of expensive. So do take care of your cable if you happen to get this headset. Now, there is no inline volume control on the headset, and the reason why, let me mention this. Lay flat design. I love it. Unlike a lot of other headsets that I recently reviewed, such as the Arctis 3, these are super comfortable whenever you lay flat because they don't pinch in. There's no pressure going this way. They just simply lay flat like they're designed to do. Sorry, just had to bring that up because it is a good feature. Now, talking about the inline volume, there is no inline volume control. The reason why is because that is where your Mixamp Pro comes in. So again, this is the white rendition, which means it works for the Xbox One as well as the PC. The black one will work for the PS4 and the PC. In theory, and I've seen Astro bundle these this way, if you like the white headset but you've got a PS4 PC, you can get the black Mixamp and use this headphone. There's nothing about this headset, like this particular headset, that will only work with the Xbox One. It's this piece that is the basically determining factor. So, what do we have on this? Basically, it's very simplistic. We've got our power button, we've got our game and audio, or no, not audio, but our game and voice chat mixer, which basically allows us to go back and forth. Or actually, I'm sorry, that's the volume. Wrong knob. This is your game and voice mixer. This is your actual volume rocker. So, basically, if you want more voice, you turn it that way. You want more game, you turn it the other way. Okay? Actually, it's reversed. I'm sorry, this thing's completely backwards. But you get the point. So anyway, now these buttons right here are basically where the magic happens. This one is simple. This is just your Dolby Digital surround sound audio. It's good. It doesn't do bad. I personally just turn it off because if I'm using this with my Xbox and I want to use surround sound, which as you guys know on the channel, not a huge advocate for digital surround sound, but if I'm going to use something digital that simulates surround sound, I'm always going to go with Dolby Atmos. So yeah, that is basically my preference as far as that goes. So I usually turn it off, but you can leave it on if you choose to do so. This part right here, though, is where the magic happens. This is your preset button, and it has 4 presets built in. You have the Astro mode, which is basically the way that they have basically engineered the sound to sound that they think it sounds good. Then you have a core mode, then you have a bass boost mode, and then you have the TR mode, which is the tournament ready mode. Now, the cool thing about this is that in the Generation 2 headset that I had and Mixamp that I had, basically those 4 presets could never be changed. They were the stock presets. So if you didn't like one of those presets, not a single one, well, it is what it is. You were stuck. The cool thing about this is this will actually let you customize the presets to predetermined presets, some that they've already created in the Astro Command Center app, which you can get on your PC or Mac, or you can actually create your own. So you can actually go in and you can tweak on an equalizer the levels whether it be the mids, the highs, the treble, whatever. And not only that, but you can actually change the frequency range on top of that. So even though it's a very simplistic tool, like whenever you first look at it, it doesn't look like it's got a lot of customization compared to like the TAC that comes with on the Turtle Beach, or even the digital audio controller that SteelSeries makes. This, whenever you actually deep dive into it and you play around, has a lot of features. And there's virtually nothing on those that you can do separate that you can't really do on this if you really dive in. And that's another reason I wanted to wait to do this review, so that way I could really play around. I created this one preset after looking up forums on Astro's website and all these other websites, trying to find settings and everything. I found a couple people that helped me out, and I found a setting that works really great for my Battle Royale shooters, or just shooters in general. It gives me good directional awareness. It gives me decent sound as far as bass and mids and trebles. Nothing's really drowned out. There's a lot of separation. It sounds really good. So that was really cool. Like, I love that feature on this. And before, I wasn't a huge advocate of mix amps and stuff. Unless you wanted to listen to music and kind of blend it in with your game audio, I didn't really have a need for it, because I never found that the actual settings ever really fit what I wanted. With this, it does, and that's really cool. So I'm excited about that. The other really good thing about this one versus the Generation 2 that I had is the back is so simple. Now, this is why, though, it only works proprietary to a particular console, is because basically your audio, on the old one, basically you had more cords. You had at least two cords, one to power the actual device, then you had one plugged into the console, and then you had one that went into the back of the console, if I'm not mistaken, an audio in. Then you also had your optical. And that allowed you to basically do multiple consoles. You could do it on PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One. They all worked. This one, though, the audio and the power all go through the USB, which is awesome because it means less cables. And it's one less cable you have to keep up with. It's less cables that you have to deal with whenever you're actually moving it or using it. And it's so simple. It's just simplicity at its best, and I love it. Even though it took away the functionality of me being able to use these with my PS4, I really can't knock it because I can always buy one of these for around about $100. You can find one used for around $100, sometimes even less. So it's not a terrible amount of money to spend if you have both consoles. Does it stink? Yeah, it kind of does, but the simplicity, in my opinion, is worth it. So that is your power. That gives you your connectivity. It carries your voice through it. The actual audio comes from your optical cable, which is right there. Then you also have a stream port right here, which will allow you to link up multiple of these, whatever. Then on the front, we have where we can daisy chain these together. So if you're in a tournament or something like that, you can daisy chain these together with other mix amps. You also have the headphone. That's where you actually plug the headphone. And then you have an auxiliary. So this is where, if you were using this for music, if you wanted to put in, plug your phone up or whatever and listen to your playlist or your mix or something like that, you can do that. And then you could basically adjust the amount of game versus your music using the voice and game dial right here. So pretty cool, all in all. This is built pretty well. It is plastic. It has a kind of a rubberized finish on the bottom so that it doesn't slip or anything, but it is built pretty well. Like, it's heavy duty plastic. It does not feel like it's going to break anytime soon unless you drop it. And even then, it probably would stand a couple drops, but don't drop it too many times. So yeah, so the mix amp and the Astro TR headset, they retail typically for about $250. Now, that is a lot of money. Obviously, a lot of money. But sometimes you can catch it on sale. I know Best Buy typically runs a sale, it seems like about once every 2 to 3 months on the Astro lines, where they mark down the Astro TRs to about $199 for $200. And for $200, it's definitely worth it. For $250, it's worth it too if you have the money. I'll be honest, I was lucky. I was fortunate enough to buy these secondhand from somebody that takes really good care of his equipment, and I was able to buy these for $150. So for $150, that was a heck of a deal. If you can find them for $150, absolutely. And you can spend it, or you can basically shell it out, definitely pick these up. They are fantastic for that price point. Again, the TR headset modification kit is available. You can get it, and I am looking to get it, but it will cost you an additional $60. So once I do purchase that and I get it, I will put a video in on the channel about it with my impressions. Which one do I like better, the stock headset or the actual modifications and all that. But yeah, so how much do I use these compared to all the other headsets I have? Because as you guys have seen, I've got quite a collection of headsets so far. Not including the ones I haven't reviewed. But these honestly have become my daily driver just because they are always hooked up to my Xbox One. I just keep the mix amp plugged up to the front USB port. So all I have to do is literally hit the power button, grab these, throw these on my head, and I'm done. The cord is plenty long, as you can see, from the headset. So I sit in a actual gaming chair away from my monitor, so I can reach my mix amp no problem. Plus, depending on what kind of USB cord you're using on your mix amp, it can be, you know, a longer cord, which means you can take your mix amp with you if you need to, and then use a shorter cord, or, you know, maybe make this cord a little shorter to the actual mix amp as well. But yeah, so all in all, what do I think about it? I think it's a great combination. The headset alone is really good, but really what completes it is the mix amp. So if you were going to buy just the headset, I probably wouldn't pay full retail price for just the headset, but if you can get the mix amp for a reduced amount and get the headset, that might be an option. But definitely together, they are a stellar deal. There's a reason that Astros are used so much among the pro gaming community and featured in tournaments and whatnot. And it's just because they really do a great job. They were the standard de facto for a long time before a lot of companies got into the professional head gaming market. So yeah, these are a great option if you choose to go with them. You will not be disappointed. So that is my review of the Astro A40 TR headset. I hope you guys appreciated it, liked it. If you want to subscribe to the channel, I would definitely appreciate it. I will try to get more reviews up as soon as I possibly can. Again, my schedule has just been super busy lately, but I am looking forward to trying to bring more content to the channel very, very soon. So until next time, I hope you guys had a good day and take care. Thanks.